Every young footballer dreams of one moment, one game, one opportunity, one performance that changes everything. For Cristiano Ronaldo, that moment arrived much sooner than anyone expected. By the summer of 2003, the young winger had become one of Sporting CP's brightest prospects. Inside the club, coaches couldn't stop talking about him. Some admired his incredible speed. Others couldn't believe how easily he embarrassed defenders during training. But there were still critics. He dribbles too much. He needs to play simpler. He's more interested in entertaining than winning. Cristiano heard every word. He never argued. He simply smiled and kept working. He believed the only opinion that mattered would be written on the football pitch. Sporting had just opened their magnificent new stadium. To celebrate, they organized a friendly match against one of Europe's biggest clubs, Manchester United. For Sporting's players, it was simply another preseason game. For Cristiano Ronaldo, it would become the most important 90 minutes of his life. He barely slept the night before, not because he was nervous, because he couldn't wait. He had spent years imagining what it would feel like to face the world's best players. Now the opportunity had finally arrived. When he stepped onto the pitch, he wasn't looking at famous names. He was looking at his future. From the very first whistle, Ronaldo attacked fearlessly. Every time he received the ball, the stadium came alive. One defender, two defenders, sometimes three. It didn't matter. He ran directly at them with complete confidence. His explosive acceleration left experienced defenders struggling to keep up. The crowd rose to its feet again and again. Every touch created excitement. Every dribble carried danger. It felt less like a friendly match and more like the birth of a superstar. By the final whistle, Sporting had defeated Manchester United. But the scoreline wasn't the biggest story. Cristiano Ronaldo was. Inside Manchester United's dressing room, nobody could stop talking about the same player. It wasn't one of their teammates. It was the skinny teenager wearing green and white. Several United players reportedly turned to their manager with the same message. "We have to sign him. He destroyed us. We can't let another club get him." Normally, football transfers take weeks, sometimes months. Not this one. The impression Ronaldo had made was simply too powerful. Manager Sir Alex Ferguson didn't see just another talented winger. He saw raw potential. He saw confidence. He saw courage. Most importantly, he saw a young player who wanted to become the best. Within days, negotiations accelerated. Sporting knew they had something special. Manchester United knew they couldn't afford to lose him. And Cristiano? He was still trying to process what was happening. Just a few years earlier, he had been a lonely 12-year-old boy crying himself to sleep in Lisbon. Now one of the biggest clubs on earth wanted him. When the deal was completed, Ronaldo became one of the most expensive teenagers in football history. His dream had suddenly become reality. But reality also brought pressure. He wasn't joining an ordinary club. He was joining a team expected to win every competition. Every mistake would be noticed. Every performance would be judged. There would be nowhere to hide. After arriving in England, Cristiano expected to wear one of the higher squad numbers usually given to young players. Instead, Sir Alex Ferguson surprised him. He handed Cristiano the iconic number 7 shirt. At first, Ronaldo couldn't believe it. That number wasn't just a shirt. It was a legacy. It had belonged to club legends before him, players who had won trophies, inspired generations, become icons. Cristiano immediately felt the pressure. He even asked whether he could wear another number instead. Sir Alex refused. "You can handle it," he said. Those simple words stayed with Ronaldo forever. For the first time in his career, someone placed enormous expectations on his shoulders before he had proven anything. It was frightening, but it was also motivating. Cristiano promised himself that he wouldn't simply wear the number 7. He would earn it. Training became even more intense. He arrived early. He stayed late. He studied defenders. He worked on his crossing, his finishing, his first touch, his balance, his strength. Every weakness became another project. His teammates quickly noticed something unusual. Most young players relaxed after training. Cristiano often continued practicing long after everyone else had left. He repeated free kicks until darkness covered the training ground. He sprinted until his legs burned. He challenged himself every single day. Because deep inside, he knew something. Talent had opened the door, but discipline would decide how long he stayed. The journey to greatness had officially begun, and although the football world didn't know it yet, the boy from Madeira was about to become one of the greatest players the game would ever witness. Cristiano Ronaldo had finally arrived in England. Everything he had dreamed about as a little boy in Madeira was now standing right in front of him. The famous red shirt, the roaring crowd, the legendary Old Trafford. But dreams often come with a price. For Cristiano, that price was pressure. At just 18 years old, he wasn't joining an ordinary football club. Manchester United was expected to compete for every trophy, every season. The fans didn't celebrate potential. They celebrated results. And Ronaldo knew he had very little time to prove he belonged. His first days at the club felt surreal. Walking through the training ground, he found himself surrounded by players whose posters had once hung on bedroom walls across the world. Roy Keane led every session with incredible intensity. Ryan Giggs glided across the pitch with effortless confidence. Paul Scholes rarely wasted a pass. Ruud van Nistelrooy finished chances with frightening precision. Cristiano admired them. But he didn't come to England just to admire legends. He came to become one. Still, the adjustment wasn't easy. English football was unlike anything he had experienced in Portugal. The pace was relentless. The tackles were harder. The defenders gave attackers no time to think. Every match felt like a battle. During his first few training sessions, Ronaldo quickly discovered that talent alone wasn't enough. Experienced defenders challenged him aggressively. If he held the ball for too long, someone would knock him to the ground. If he hesitated for even a second, the opportunity disappeared. It was football at full speed. Some young players might have lost confidence. Cristiano reacted differently. Every difficult challenge became another lesson. Every mistake became motivation. Instead of avoiding physical contact, he began preparing his body for it. He stayed in the gym long after training had ended. He worked on his balance, his strength, his explosive acceleration. Little by little, his body changed. The skinny teenager who had left Madeira was beginning to transform into a powerful athlete. But football wasn't his only challenge. England felt unfamiliar. The weather was cold. The language was different. The food wasn't what he had grown up eating. There were moments when loneliness returned. He missed his mother. He missed his sisters. He missed the quiet streets of Madeira. Yet every time those feelings appeared, Cristiano reminded himself why he had left home years earlier. He hadn't come this far to turn back now. One afternoon, Sir Alex Ferguson noticed Ronaldo staying behind after everyone else had gone home. The young winger was practicing crosses again and again. Sometimes they were perfect. Sometimes they weren't. But he refused to stop. Ferguson quietly watched from a distance. He smiled. Talent could impress a coach. Discipline built champions. Cristiano didn't realize it then. But every extra minute he spent training was earning Sir Alex Ferguson's trust. That trust would become one of the defining relationships of his career, helping shape the player the world would one day admire. The boy who once chased a worn-out football through the narrow streets of Madeira had grown into one of the brightest young talents in world football. Every challenge in England had made him tougher. Every criticism had sharpened his focus. Every setback had strengthened his determination. Cristiano Ronaldo was no longer playing to prove people wrong. He was playing to become the very best version of himself. With each passing season, he continued to evolve, winning trophies, breaking records, and earning the respect of teammates, rivals, and millions of fans across the globe. Yet no matter how much he achieved, he always believed there was another level to reach. For Cristiano, greatness was never a destination. It was a lifelong pursuit. And while the football world had already begun to witness the rise of an extraordinary player, the greatest chapters of his remarkable journey were still waiting to be written. For now, this chapter of Cristiano Ronaldo's incredible story comes to a close. If you enjoyed this journey and want to discover more inspiring stories of the world's greatest legends, be sure to subscribe to Life of Legends and turn on notifications so you never miss our next documentary. Until next time, thank you for watching.